Yeah. So we'll start with today's class. What is software testing? Okay. So before going to software testing, you all know that, right? It is all ISTQB orientation. Okay. Based on ISTQB. So first of all, we'll try to understand what is ISTQB, and after that, we'll start our testing concepts. And in this only, I'll also cover what all the topics that we'll be covering in our sessions, and how will be the session, and what is the duration of the session. Everything we'll cover. Okay. So first we'll discuss about ISTQB, and then we will discuss what all the topics will cover. Okay, so ISTQB is nothing but a standards the testing team has given us, so that whoever is trying to join or learning new concepts in either in testing or in the next levels of their phases, so they have to understand this ISTQB structure. Okay, so the basic level is a foundation level called certified tester, and then you can either go into this side of totally into agile, or totally into the core, or into the specialist level. It all depends upon you, but wherever you want to go, you have to start with your basic level called foundation level. So that is what we are gonna cover in this total sessions. Okay, so all the things that I'll make you go through, and I will explain, it's all about ISTQB testing standards only. Everything, all the concepts whichever I pull is from ISTQB standards only. Okay, so that is what is ISTQB, and ISTQB has a foundation level exam. So once you pass this exam, then you can go to any of the next level. So once you attend my sessions, and end of the session, you can go ahead and you can book your slot for ISTQB, and you can start writing your exam. Okay, you will get the confidence. I'll make you get the confidence and everything. You can go ahead and write your exam, and you can be certified tested. Okay. So these are the topics that ISTQB foundation level has given us if you are starting your testing career as a tester. So these are the foundation things that you have to know before you go to the testing concepts. Okay. So what are those five chapters that we will be covering? One is fundamentals of testing. So under this, we'll cover what is testing, why is testing necessary, and there are 7 test principles that ISTQB has given us to understand, and how to test, where to test, when to stop testing. All those things are given by ISTQB. So all those things we'll cover in this 7 testing principles. And also test process, there should be some process for everything, right? If you are if you are cycling, if you are doing some exercise, there will be some process you follow. So similarly, even testing has some process, so that is explained by ISTQB, and that is what we will also learn in this session. And psychology of testing. So how should a tester mindset should be, and how should we test, in what way we have to understand testing. All those things will cover in psychology of testing. Coming to the next chapter, it is testing throughout the software development life cycle. So there are separate life cycles for development, and separate life cycle for testing. So we will understand both of the life cycles, and under life cycles there are different methodologies that we have. Okay, so those methodologies also we'll try to understand. There are different methods that we can follow the software development life cycle or testing life cycle. Okay, so there are test levels. At what level you have to test, either it is on the starting level or in the ending level, on the in the middle of the development of the in middle of the development you have to do some testing. So all these kinds, there will be different levels where you have to test, what you have to test, under that what are the techniques that you have to follow when you're testing. So all those things will cover under test levels. And there are also different test types. After you understand which level you are testing, you should also know what type of testing you have to do. Until and unless you don't know what type of testing you do, it is of no use testing that product. Okay, so that is the reason you have to understand what level you are testing and which type of which testing you are doing. Okay, and also you also learn about maintenance testing. So when you have to do maintenance testing, what are the different maintenance testing techniques, all those things you will understand in this topic. So coming to the next thing, it is called static testing. There are different types of testing. Here we already understood test types, right? Under this, you get static testing. So in the next chapter, we only look into static testing. So what are the different static testing basics and what is a review process? All those things we'll understand in chapter 3. Coming to the chapter 4, it's all testing techniques. So we understood right here. We'll just have a picture of what are the different testing techniques. But here in this chapter, you totally go deep dive into what is testing type, different type of techniques, and what are the characteristics of categories of testing techniques, and what is black box testing, what is white box testing, what is experience. So once that you have understood what level testing, what type of testing you have to understand, now you have to understand what is a test management thing that you have to do. Suppose you have already have experience of 4 5 years. Okay, so now you cannot go and tell your profile saying that I just did manual testing. Okay, you have to show your profile that you have done some management techniques also. So this chapter would be helpful for you to show, to understand what are the different test management methods, and also to show in your profile what are the management methods that you have done. Okay, so how do you organize a testing, and how do you plan and estimate a testing, and what are the monitoring and controlling methods, and what is configuration management, and what is risk based testing and risk and testing, and the final concept is defect management. Okay, so there is defect management. It's a very big process, how you manage a defect, what are the different defects that you handle, all those things you will understand in test management. And the last but not the least, you will understand tool support for testing. So there are different tools that you support for testing, right? So it might be a manual tool, it might be an automation tool, anything. So you'll understand what are the different tools to consider for testing. So suppose you are going for a managerial level. Okay, so then you can this chapter would be helpful for you to understand how to consider a tool, and what are the tools that are effective currently in the market. Okay, so I will also explain you with different tools that we are trying to understand here. So something like Bugzilla, ALM, all those things I'll just make you understand. Okay, so what are the different things? And you have to understand one point. So our total class session will be 1 hour, right? So I will divide my session like first 5 to 10 minutes with the previous revision of the classes, or in the 5 to 10 minutes, first 5 to 10 minutes of the class, we will revise the topics, or I'll give you some questionnaires. Okay, you have to answer. This questionnaire is based on what all the topics that we have discussed in our previous class. Okay, and the next 40 minutes class is totally a theory class, or the topic that I will cover in that particular class. Okay, and the last 10 minutes will be either project related discussion or ISTQB preparation. Okay, so this is how we generally take our class sessions. Okay, so one more thing I want to, and in, okay, I just close this. So in this session, you will also understand the SQL basics. So how to do testing with SQL things and all. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so this is a pattern of the class, and these are the topics that we'll be covering based on our thing, and also this is the second chapter that I've already discussed. And coming to testing, we have already completed. So now we'll have a quick knowledge about what are the API concepts that you'll be learning. Okay, so these are all the API concepts that you'll be learning. Along with, you will also learn how to test an API with Postman and also with SOAP. Okay, so these are the two different tools that you'll be learning. So first, under API concepts, you will learn what is client server architecture and what is presentation business database layers and what is API, why you do API testing, and what is the difference between API testing and the UI testing. And here you will understand what are the different web services, what are the protocols, what is URIV, all these things you will understand in API testing. So in API testing also you will be learning two different tools, that is Postman and SOAP UI. Okay, and also along with this you also have SQL basics. Okay, SQL basics, I will also you will also learn what is SQL, how to fetch a query in SQL, and how to use that SQL database part in your manual testing. All those things you will understand. Okay, so I hope you got a picture how we are going with our sessions. Okay, if you have any queries or doubts, you can please post here or talk. We can just have a quick discussion and then we can go ahead with our today's session. You can even type your questions in your chat. I can respond to your chat. Any questions or queries here? And what is your expectation from this session, so that we can also look into that? So you have no expectations from this class? Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes, thank you for giving us this opportunity to be able to join this demo today. So, how long will you going to take the training for?
Yeah, this total training is like 30 days. 20 days is for manual testing. 4 to 5 days will be SQL database testing, and other 4 to 5 days, depending upon our flexibility and all, like 10 days along with API plus database, and 20 days manual testing. Okay. Along with it, you'll also be doing a project. Okay, and you have a mock interview at the end of this session, so you should be ready for this mock interview also. Okay, somewhere here in the second chapter or the third chapter, I'll make you understand how to write test cases. From there, each and after each and every concept, you have to start writing your test cases. Okay, and all, you will have almost like 8 to 10 exercises that you have to complete and you have to submit. Yeah.
Thank you. So, it will be for 30 days.
Sorry?
It will be for 30 days, right? Monday to
Yeah,
Friday.
30. Yeah, it is from Monday to Friday, no Saturday and Sunday.
Okay. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
yeah, no problem. So, Satya, I hope your question is also answered.
Yes,
If
yes.
you want, yeah, if you want the session to be fast, it all depends upon how you grasp things, how you are responding to my teaching, so that even we can close the session also. Okay. That all depends upon how we interact in the class, how we get the inputs, and how you understand my concepts and all. Okay. Okay. All right. So shall I go ahead with today's topic? So from today onwards, we are starting the session. So I'll start all the concepts from today only, so that from tomorrow will be a regular class. Today is also a regular class, but just for your information, we'll start. Okay. Okay, so first of all, before understanding what is testing, so you have to understand how an IT or a project will work. Okay, so where exactly this testing will work, where you come into the picture. Okay, so to understand that, this picture or this image clearly shows us. Okay, so how this acts, how this process will start. Okay, so what happens is, I'll tell you with a real time example. Okay, so it's a very small example. So I have an idea, business idea, so that I have this idea. So that is called an ideation. Okay. It might be I or a client or the customer, okay, whoever approaches. So I go and approach to some institute saying that, sir, this is what an idea I have. So I want to start a project based on this. I want to develop this idea, whichever I got it, okay. So all those things will be either in a booklet or I just write it by my hand. Okay, I'll take it to the particular concerned people. So if I want to develop a cycle, I go to a cycle manufacturer. Okay, so if I want to do some cooking thing, I go and do it where exactly this cooking cook will be there present. So I'll go and tell, okay, cook, this is my idea and you have to develop this dish. So this is what where an idea starts. After this idea, I'll start gathering all the requirements. So what all the requirements will be necessary, if at all, if I'm doing a building, okay. So what I want to build a building with this structure, okay. The structure may be V shape or something else, okay. So all those things I have it in my mind, and when I start with the requirements, so I keep start gathering all the requirements. So what all the requirements do I need for this structure of a building? It might be cement, bricks, sand, anything, and it should have some woodwork. So I go talk to the woodwork people. So all those things are the requirements. So this is called requirement gathering section. Okay, so when we gather all the requirements that is needed for my idea that is presentable is called a requirement gathering section. Okay, then comes the design. So now I don't have, I have all the design that I want to build that particular structure is in my mind. It's not in my papers, or it's not there any there physically. Okay, so now what I do, I start putting up on a pen or a paper with help of some architecture. So if I am doing a building, so I go and tell the architecture saying that this is what the design that I have to do. Okay, so then the architecture will analyze all my requirements, all my ideas, and he'll put it in a picture structure. Okay, so that is called an he do the design. So even in the project also, there will be some business analyst who will start designing the project. Okay, so coming to the development. Okay, so now I have my idea. I gathered all my requirements. I have the design ready. Okay, now what I will do? I start building this structure, whatever building structure. So how do I build the structure? With the help of maestries or with the help of laborers who can start with building up my walls and all. Okay, so that is where my development starts. In real time, in a project, how it will start the development, the developers will start the coding. Okay, so there ends the development. So once I start building the structure of the building, what happens? I have to test the quality of the building. Okay, I simply cannot just like that go and build a building structure and come back and say my structure is ready and my building is ready. No, there will be some standards that we have to follow, the protocols we have to follow. So all the protocols and the standards that we follow, we go and test the building type. We test the brick. What is the brick that we are using? We test the cement structure and what are the pipes that we are using. What is the electricity wire? Everything we test it before we do it in a structure wise. Okay, so that is where we come into the picture. We, in the sense, testing comes into the picture. Okay, so we start testing of each and every product that is either developed or it is in development stage or it is in or we have to do a final testing. Okay, so there are levels of testing we have understood in the previous discussion, right? So this is where the testing comes into the picture. Whatever is developed, either it might be a building structure or it might be an IT product or it might be a simple example. So you want to cook something in your house and you don't have any vegetables at your home. What you do, you go to the vegetable shop. Before buying anything, what you do, you start selecting each and every vegetables. You don't go and blindly put all the vegetables in a basket and bring it home and say, oh, it is a defective product. No, you won't say that, right? Before coming into taking them home, what you do, you select the quality of the product, only then you weigh them and you get it to home, right? So in each and every aspect in our life, testing plays a major role. Okay, similarly, even in IT project also, testing plays a major role. So they say that manual testing is going on. In future there is no manual testing. Automation only is coming. No, it doesn't happen generally, because manual testing is basis. There are so many challenges. If you have to automate a particular thing, there are so many challenges that you have to come up. Okay, so compulsory there should be a manual testing team or the person who has manual testing experience. So that is the reason you also came up to have that manual testing knowledge. Only basis of the manual testing knowledge, you go start building your automation journey, right? So that is the reason testing is very, very important in any phase of the either in a project or in a real time example. Okay, so then the testing is completed. You say, okay, the quality of the building is very good, and you can go ahead with the next. So what you do, you deploy. Deploy in the sense, you tell your customer saying that the building structure is completed, everything is as per your expectation, you can come and start staying in this building. So that is called deployment. So once the deployment is done, then comes the maintenance phase. So what is maintenance phase? So suppose all the people came up in the building. After like 6 months or 7 months, they complain saying that, okay, this particular pipe is not proper, and it has to be the builder responsibility. So then you go and fix that particular pipe. Okay, the whatever the water is coming out, so you fix that particular pipe. So that is called maintenance. Okay, so this is how IT project or any of the thing in our real time example will work only on these different concepts. Okay, so where do we sit? We sit in the testing concept. So in this testing, there are different types of testing. There are different techniques we will understand in our day to day classes. Okay, so even in the project, okay, now we have understood how a building structure will come. Even in the project, this is the same thing that happens. Okay, so customer or the client comes up with an idea, and then he says, okay, these are the requirements that I want, and based on the requirements, there will be a business analyst team. Okay, so the business analyst team will start designing the architecture. Will design, okay, these are the different things that client is very specific about. So he will make sure that all the things are proper in our project, and then comes the development. So then our developers will all sit together, will start understanding what are the design technique, what are the design of that particular requirement of the client, and then they will discuss about their tools, and then come to the testing manager, testing lead, or the test team. Everyone will sit together, will understand what are the topics that we have to test. And once the testing is done, then it will go to the deployment phase, where all the people who are under deployment team, so they will deploy all the things that developers has developed and we tested it. And then comes the maintenance phase. There are few times there might be in projects there is a maintenance team, or most of the time only the customer will only have the maintenance team. Okay, so this is how software development life cycle will work. Okay, okay, so any doubts in this till now? Okay, I assume as no doubts. So we'll go to understand. So now that we have understood where the testing will fit, we'll understand what is testing. Okay, why is testing necessary and what is testing? Okay, so testing is nothing but any product or any medicine that we test with manual effort is called manual testing. Okay, so suppose what happens if I don't test, if I don't do a testing. Okay, so I have developed an ECG machine or an X-ray machine. Okay, I did not test it, I directly put it in the lab. What happen, it might have a short circuit, it might not work properly, or it might cause a death of a patient, okay, without we do a proper testing. Okay, so testing is very, very important before sending a product to the final thesis. Okay, so it is what, any product or any medicine that we test with manual effort. Effort in the sense we are going and testing that particular project. So that is called manual testing. And testing will help us prevent the defects. So what are the defects? I told you, right? The ECG machine or the X-ray machine that we have sent to the lab without testing, it is a defective product. So when I plugged into when I plugged into it and switched on the switch, what happened? It suddenly started throwing some electric diffusers. Okay, so what was the issue? It is a defect. So I did not test that particular defective piece and I just sent it. Okay, so that is called as defect. Okay, so detect the defects. It will help to detect the defects. And risk management. So what is risk management in the medical instruments? That is I told, right? What is an example? Medical instrument, ECG or an X-ray. What was the risk that happened there? A death of a patient or some short circuit before the patient comes in. So these are the risks that might we get into if we don't test a particular project. Okay, it will also help us to improve the quality. How it will help us to improve the quality, we will see in the later stages of our testing. Okay, and we can also say that it met the requirements or not. Okay, so here I'll tell you one example. Okay, what is an example? So a customer came with an idea saying that, okay, I want to build up a television. Okay, so he got all the requirements and developer started developing it, and the final product what it came up is a fridge. Okay, so I just gave it to the client. Then client says, okay, this is not what I expected. I want, he just told me that he want to plug it into the electric board and he want just a screen. Okay, so when the requirements were read by the business analyst and developers who developed it, the final product what it came was a fridge. Okay, so that is what, when you do a testing, you can say that whatever requirement that client has given is the same that we are delivering it to the customer. Okay, so that testing also helps us to understand it is meeting the requirements or not. So these are all the advantages of testing, and these are all the things that we have to do in testing before we send the final product to the customer. Got it? What is testing? Or you want me to explain it again? Okay, all right, I see. I understand you understood the concept of testing. So now we will move to, so this is in general what is testing. So now we will understand what is software testing. Okay, so before we understand what is software testing, first you have to understand what is software. So only then you will understand the combination of software testing. So we'll understand what is software. So software is nothing but a collection of computer programs that help us to perform a task. Okay, so you might be now again, what is computer program and what is this collection? Okay, so we will understand the user. So everyone will use a mobile nowadays. Okay, so to use that mobile, there are different softwares that you install in your mobile, something like Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn or Naukri. So with the help of that particular software, you start using it in your mobile, correct? So if you don't have a proper software, what happens? You cannot access that particular software or particular LinkedIn or Naukri or any other profile, right? So that is called a software. So example is the same thing which I've explained. Usage of mobile. We cannot use a mobile until there's a proper software. So if you don't put a proper software, it will not act according to how we are expecting. Okay. So that is called a software. So now software is a collection of computer programs that help us to perform a task. What is the task we are trying to perform? We are trying to access the Instagram profile. So that is the task that we want to do. For that, what we want a software. What is a software? Instagram software. Where we go and put it, we have a Play Store or something, Apple Store. Where there we go, we download it and we start using it. Okay, so that is a software. So there are different types of softwares. Okay, one is system software, other one is program software, other one is a application software. Okay, these three because of these three different softwares only, we are able to access different things in our real time scenario. So what is system software? System software is nothing but the operating system. So if you have to operate your mobile, there should be some operating system installed in your mobile. What is the operating system that we install in the mobile? If you are using Android, it is an Android operating system. Or if you are using a desktop or a laptop, it is like Windows software operating system, right? Windows 10 or Windows 11 or something like that. There will be some version, you have to install it, only then you can access your machine. So that is called system software. And what is program software? Program software is nothing but a compiler or a debugger. So if you get any issue in the software that you have installed, so these two compilers or the debuggers will help you to analyze and get what is a what is the issue in the software, and how to resolve it. So this is called a program software. And coming into the last thing, it is nothing but a application software. Application is nothing but which application you have to use it. You have to use. So that is called as application software. If it is LinkedIn, you go and download this LinkedIn software. So that is called that application that is called application software. Okay. So these are the different types of software you use in your real-time daily scenario. Okay. So now we will understand what kind of software testing we will do. It might be operating system software, or it might be you might be doing a compiler or debugger, just checking what is the issue, what is not an issue. So you might be into that kind of project, or you just test the application, web application or the mobile application. Okay. Depending upon which software your project is using or which application you will be using, so based on that you will be testing that particular thing. Okay. In our total all these 20 days we'll be only looking into this application software. What is called, it is a web app or the mobile app or something else. Okay, so that is what we'll be trying to understand, the type of software. Okay. Okay. So I hope you are clear about what is testing and what is software testing. If you can give me some answers, it would boost up my energy also.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So now we have understood what is software and software testing. We should also understand what is quality. Okay. So only if we understand what is quality, we can give a quality product to the end customer. Okay. So what is the role that testing helps us in giving a quality product? Okay. So now we will see what is quality, testing and quality. So what helps, testing can help us the measure of quality of a software. So how will we do? So what testing will do? Testing will help us to measure the quality. Okay. when you when you're going to the vegetable market, what you do, you see the vegetables, you check the vegetables and you see if it is proper for cooking or not. Okay, what are you doing there? You are checking the quality of that particular product. Okay, when you're going and trying to buy apartment or something, There you go and check everything, all the walls, all the pipes, all the taps and all. So there what you are doing, you are checking the quality of the structure. Okay, so when you're going and trying to buy a bicycle, what you are doing there, you are checking, are the tires proper, is it is the keychain correct, or everything, we are checking everything. Okay, so there you are trying to check the quality of the cycle. Okay, so this is how we check the quality. So we'll see the ISTQB definition of quality. Okay. So this is what ISTQB has given us the definition. Okay. The quality is the degree to which a component or a system or a process meets specified requirements and or user or customer expectations. So that is what, when you're going and checking the cycle, what you're doing, you're checking that quality of the tires and quality of the brakes, everything. So I am the customer, I am going and checking the product. So it should satisfy my requirements. If it is not satisfying my requirements, I won't go ahead and buy the cycle. Okay. So similarly, the quality, that is how the quality is. Similarly, in IT project also, whatever the product that we are delivering to the customers, it has to be standards and it has to be according to the client requirements. So if it is not according to the client requirement, client will say, no, 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 this is not what I have asked for, this is something else you gave it for. Okay, so you give it what I asked for, then only I'll sign off the project. So this is how a client will talk. Okay, so that is why we introduce testing and we do a extensive level of testing in every project, so that it is meeting the client requirement. And this is measured in the terms of defects found. So when we are doing, when we are doing the testing, we find different number of defects. Okay, so when we go to the vegetable shop also, it might not that all the vegetables that are put up on that for selling is eligible for cooking. So some might be defective, some might not be proper for cooking. So all those things we take out, we only pick out the quality ones and then get it to our home and start cooking, right? So similarly, in our testing also, we do different types of defects. Okay, so we find different defects, and they and defects help us to measure the quality. Okay. Okay. So now that we have understood what is a defect, these are the three main terminologies that you have to understand. These are the standard terminologies that ISTQB has given us. And this is must to know to proceed for further sessions. Okay. So first we have to understand what is an error and what is a defect and what is a failure. Okay. So first we have to understand what is an error. Error is nothing but an human action that produces incorrect result. So here we have seen an example where we are the requirement is of making television, but what we delivered is a fridge. Okay. So here what is happening? It is a human error. What is a developer has, what was the developer responsibility? He was supposed to deliver a television, but he delivered a fridge, right? So that is a human action that produces incorrect result. So what was the result? Rather than giving a TV, he gave you a fridge. So that is called as error. And what is the next one? Called defect. So defect is nothing but a flaw in a component or a system that can cause the component or system to fail the perform its required action. So what is what does TV has to do? TV should display a picture and it has to change the channels. But rather than what is my deliverable is doing, is just freezing all whatever things I am putting into it. It is just freezing. Okay, so that is called a defective product. What is expected? It has to display some picture, but what it is doing, it is freezing thing. So there is a long gap between the expectation and the result, right? So that is called a defect. And now coming to the failure. So failure, it totally failed, right? The deviation of the component of the system from its expected delivery to the actual one. So it was supposed to be a TV, but it is a fridge. So that is called a failure product. Okay. So now how it comes. So first comes the error. So error can be manifested as a defect. So error will slowly turn as a defect, and defect will finally result in a failure. So when you find more number of defects, it will go into the failure. So I have more number of defects in the piece that is delivered. Yeah, it is not displaying a picture. It doesn't have a remote. It is not changing the channels. So there are a lot of defects in my product that I have got. So what is it called? It is a failure product. Okay. Understood the terms of error, defect, and failure? And these
Yes.
definitions are mandatory for you to keep it in your mind, because out of these three, one is a pakka question for ISTQB. Okay. So they might ask you about what is an error, they might ask you what is defect, they might ask you what is a failure. So it might not be a direct question, it is somewhere else from the concept they will pull out and they will ask a question. So one question is for sure from this three concepts. Okay. So try to understand these three concepts. If you have any doubt, please let me know. I'll explain it again.
Can you please tell me again defect?
You want to understand effect? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Defect and bug
So,
is same.
sorry?
Defect or bug is same.
Yeah, defect or bug is same.
Okay.
So in project terms, they might say bug or defect or something. All those things will come into same thing. Defect or bug is same, or fault is also same. Here if you see error or a mistake, defect, bug or fault, failure or the risk. So these are all same terminologies. Okay, so don't get confused. Error is nothing but a human action that produces an incorrect result. Okay, what was the human action that happened in our example? It was not a fridge.
Mm-hmm.
It was not a television, it was a fridge. So what
Mm,
happened, the developer misinterpreted that requirements, and then he developed a fridge, not a television. That is a human error, right? Human action, right?
uh-huh.
So that results in an error. Okay,
Right.
that results in
Okay.
an error. Okay, so what happens, so once the error is there, so what happens, I start testing each and everything, so it is totally different from whatever I got. Okay, so that is a defect. So what is a defect? So I wanted my television to display the pictures. Okay, I wanted a remote. With the remote I want to change the channels, right? Correct or
Right.
wrong? So, but what is happening rather? It has a door, and when I put something, it is freezing. Okay, that is defect,
Mm,
right? What is
right.
supposed, what is expected, what is not, what is the result. So there is a difference. Okay, so that
Okay.
is called defect or a bug. And what is a failure? I see a lot of defects in this particular product. Okay, it might be correct if that the product delivered should be a fridge, but what I expected is a television. So there are lots of defects in my product. Okay, so there is
Mm,
a lot of deviation of the component itself. I asked for a television, they gave a fridge. So there is a deviation in the product itself. So then I say it is a failure product.
okay.
Understood?
Yes. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, no problem. So this is what we have, the terminology: error, defect, and failure. These terminologies are very important for you to understand. Okay. Okay, so there might be different reasons for the defects to caused. Okay, so we'll see some of the causes of the defects. Okay, what are the different causes of defects? It might be a time pressure. So when I gave my requirement, I might tell the developer I want this product in 1 day or 2 days. So which is highly impossible for the developer to develop. So what happens in a hurry? He put everything together, all the requirements, he put it together, he delivered the product. He might not see what is happening, what is not happening. He might not check anything. He just want the product to be delivered. That will be the mindset of the developer, as there is a lot of time pressure. Okay, so that might result into the defect. And there may be tight deadlines. Okay, so tight deadlines, it is also similar to the time pressure. Okay, so deadline will be like by this time you have to develop this, by this time you have to develop this. That might also create a panic in the developer mind, and that might also cause a defect. Okay, and again the time is also the main constraint. So these might be some of the causes of the defects. Okay, so all are these unavoidable, you cannot avoid any of them. You cannot say I cannot, you cannot go on keeping building your product like hundred thousands of years. Okay, there will be some deadline for you. Okay, and obviously when there when you put a deadline, obviously there will be a pressure that is created. Okay, so these are things you cannot avoid in any of the circumstances. Okay, so that is where if we include testing in any of these phases, what happens is we can in each and after each and every phase we test the product and we say the developer. Okay, so first of all he required all the requirement gathering has happened, so he got everything in his hand, he started building something. Okay, after a stage one, suppose there is a stage four stages. Okay, so after stage one what happened is, okay, he built half of the product and he says, okay, testing team, please come and test whether the product that I'm developing is in correct stage or not. Okay, so we go there and we say, okay, stage one, according to stage one, this is what the requirement the client has given. So we will check whether the product is correctly built in the starting stages itself. So if there is any deviation, what happens, I say, okay, developer, so this is not what the client is expecting, you are doing some other product than this product, please again go through again the requirements and start developing it. So there only when when we did testing, what happened, we have reduced the failure like little. I mean, the failure, what was the failure, the deviation in the product. Okay, there only we told, okay, this is not what is required, this something else you are building. So we told the developer, okay, you have to reconsider your requirements. Okay, that happened. So what happened, we have included testing in our life cycle, which in turn gives a happy product to the customer. So when he sees when in this scenario, when all the four stages testing has happened and when we deliver the product, we deliver the correct product. What is the correct product? Television. Why did we deliver the correct product? Television, because each and every stage we have included our testing, we had reviewed our product which developer has developed it, and we have said, we have given the developer all our comments saying that this is correct, this is not correct, this has to be changed, all those things, all our views that we have given to the developer, according to which in each and every stage the development process has improved and it has given a happy product to the customers, where the client is happy, customer is happy, even we are happy with the product we have delivered. Okay, so that is, and those are the causes of defects. Okay. So now that we have understood what is testing and what is the quality and what are the errors, defects and failures, now we will understand what are the different types of testing. Okay. So there are mainly two types of testing. What is that? It is manual testing and automation testing. So what is manual testing? Manual testing is nothing but we do everything manually. With manual intervention we do. Okay. So that is called manual testing. So if we have to test like 100 different blocks, we manually go and check each and every block with our hands and we will see, okay, this product is correct, this product is not correct. So what is automation testing? Automation testing is nothing but where there is an intervention of a tool. Okay, so if I have to suppose test that particular block or the medicine, okay, so I put it in a tool and then test the quality of that product. Okay, so tool will help us in testing that product, so that is called automation. So one thing you have to understand, even in automation there will be little manual intervention. So here in the testing of 100 blocks, you test each and every block of 100 blocks. But in automation, what you do, you just initiate that process. Rest everything is done by tool only. Okay. So that is the difference between manual and automation. Okay. So you understood what is manual testing and automation testing. So in our project, in our IT project, what happens is manually you write the test cases, you write the scenarios, you do everything manually. So I'll tell you one example for this. So I'll take one something like, okay, I'll take this Facebook site. Okay. So here what I have to do, I have to enter email ID. Here I have to enter some password and it has to go and log in. Okay. So these all things what you do it manually when you are doing manual testing and you develop all the test cases, everything, and you only test it. But when you do automation testing, what happened is you ask some other tool like Tosca or Selenium or UFT. If it is a mobile testing, you ask a mobile tool to say, okay, you come and interact with this particular UI and start testing these all things, this email ID, password and login. To start testing for that automation tool also, you have to manually you have to go and write some code. Only then it will start running that code. Okay. So that is called automation testing. Understood what is manual and what is automation? Okay. So these are all the concepts that I wanted to discuss in the first class. Okay. So from tomorrow, what we'll try to understand is what is a fundamental test process and what are the 7 testing principles. So these are the 2 topics that we've discussed in tomorrow's class. Okay. So for today's class, everyone, I think you got to understand what is an ISTQB structure and what is where is testing will fit, where testing will fit, and what is the definition of testing, and what is software testing, what is a quality, and terminology of error, defect, and failure. And we also understood what are the different causes of defects, and then we will jump what is manual testing and automation testing. Tomorrow we'll see what is the fundamental test process, along with which we will understand 7 different testing principles, and then we'll see each and every principle in depth, and then we'll have a questionnaire on this. Okay. So with this, like in 2 to 3 days we can complete the chapter 1. So I will record everything here. So we will have all the timelines here and we will understand. Okay. So this is what I have planned for day 1. So if you have any questions or anything else that you want me to include, feel free to tell me and I will surely include all those things and we can go ahead with our testing.
Actually, I'm joining later. So, how long is the course?
Yeah, Tanya, this course is totally 30 days, 20 days of manual testing, 10 days
Mm-hmm.
includes API testing plus DB testing. DB testing in the sense you will understand how to write a SQL query, how to fetch records and how to write those queries and all those things you will understand. Okay.
So every day, like every day
Yeah,
class 45 minutes,
every day from Monday to Friday.
Monday to Friday. Okay.
Monday to Friday. If at all, if I miss any class in a rare circumstance like Monday to Friday, if I miss any class, that
Uh-huh.
class will be compensated on Saturday. That is a very rare situation. Only if it is an emergency or something, I'll
Okay.
be taking up a class on
Recording.
Saturday.
Okay. This
Yeah.
is the
Otherwise,
recording.
the regular session is from Monday to Friday, 7:30 to 8:30 IST. 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
IST.
Will
How
I
hard
get
it
any
is?
recorded sessions? I mean, if I miss
Yeah,
a
all
class, will I get?
yes, yes. All the sessions will be recorded, and my team will provide you the recording post 9:30 or 10 because my team will come after 9:30 or 10. So they will post the recordings in the group itself. So they'll create one more group, the finalized group of the manual testing. There they'll share all the recordings day by day. If at
Okay.
all you miss the session, you can refer to the recordings.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
After that class, what should you do?
In the sense, I did not get your question. Sorry.
I said after that class, finish our class. So what should you do? Like in uh, uh, job related, like you can give it to the resume.
Yeah, yeah. You're asking about the third after 30 days, right? Not after day by
Yes.
day. Yeah. After 30 days, like you'll be ready for going for any testing project. So we will have a mock-up interview after end of this 30 days, right? So
Hmm.
by next October 19th or 20, we will conduct mock interviews. If you are interested, by end of that, we'll take the mock-up interviews of you of
Hmm.
yours, and we will also revise your CV
Mm-hmm.
or the resume. So we will check your resume and we'll ask you. So if it is all correct, then we say, okay, include all those things. We will tell
Hmm.
you how to include a project and how confidently you can tell about this project. All those things we will discuss on the last 5 to 6 days. Okay. If you're interested, it will be like individual session. Okay. It will not
Oh,
be a
okay.
group session. So who are all interested can come up. I will take up their names and
Mm.
then we will block your calendar like 1 hour or 2 hours per day, and we will review your resume. We'll take up mock-up interviews. If you're in how much you're interested, those many interviews we can take up. Okay, that all depends upon your interest.
Mm. Good. So I don't know how much you can pay.
Sorry,
It's a pay.
you have to connect with my team. I am not sure about it. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So in
Okay.
the group, you are in the group. You are in the group,
Yes.
Tanya.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
in the group, I guess Anita should be there, right? Anita will help you, or any other team member in my group will can help you
Mm-hmm.
with that payment. Okay, how to pay
Okay.
and all this. Yeah,
Thank you.
no problem. So, any other questions that I have to take up here?
No, I need to know what's the name. I'm sorry about that. I don't see the
Yeah, yeah, no problem. I am
uh,
Manasa. I am Manasa.
Manisha, right?
Manasa.
Manis.
Manas. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'll
Yes.
join tomorrow.
Yeah, sure, Tanya.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
no problem.
Have a
Next,
nice day.
Julius. Yeah, you too. Julius, you can go ahead.
We are going to be using some tools, as you say, like Postman and
Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, for API testing, you will be using Postman and SOAP also.
are you going to give us the software to install on our
Yes,
laptops?
yes, I'll give it. I'll give it and help you how to download them, how to install them, all those things will be covered.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks so much.
Yeah, no problem. Yes. Any more questions?
Yeah, for ISTQB certification, will this API testing also will be included or only for?
No, no, no. Only testing concepts. We
Oh,
have discussed in the starting slide, right? What are the different chapters? Only from those chapters, you will get all these questions. That ISTQB weightage for each chapter also we'll discuss. I'll tell you in the middle. So this is an ISTQB topic. This is an ISTQB topic, so that you will understand. Okay, you have to put more more concentration on that particular topic, so that one question might come from that particular concept. So that kind of help will also be coming from my side.
thank you.
Yes.
So you don't provide any ISTQB training so that we can write the exam and all.
No, no, no. That is what I'm telling, right? In each and every topic, from chapter wise only, I'll tell what concept will come, what is the type of question, and also we have a set of questions that we will discuss in the class. So I told you, right? Almost like every day you will have a questionnaire. Okay, so that questionnaire will contain some of the ISTQB questions. Okay, so from day one or day two, you will be preparing for ISTQB simultaneously with my classes. And also, I'll provide you a set of ISTQ questions, sample like questions, where you can prepare for that particular ISTQB. Okay, so it's all
Do we get
ISTQB oriented.
do we get any material for ISTQB?
Material in the sense, whatever I am explaining is
Uh,
all about ISTQBs. Yes, I'll try to figure out one text. There is one textbook for ISTQB. I'll try to figure out if I can get that software of that textbook so that I can circulate it with you. Okay.
because if we want to write the exam, then the book is necessary, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
The
now
concepts will
everyone
also.
is asking if we have to join for, I mean, if we want to work for testing, then everyone is asking for the certificate of ISTQB.
Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, sure. Don't worry about it. We will provide all the necessary materials and all with you. Okay.
Uh, Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Any more questions, please? Okay, so if we have no questions, we can close today's session. We'll meet on tomorrow's session. Have a nice day and bye bye.
Bye. Have a
Yeah.
nice
Bye
day.
bye, everyone.
Yeah,
Bye.
yeah, bye.